Oden's has done it again. They've brought us 2 new Christmas palettes. Let's talk about it. Hey y'all, it's Heather, and I have both of the new palettes from Oden's. I absolutely love Oden's. They are an independently owned brand, and they do big Christmas launches. This year we have 2 new palettes. We have Rosy Jingle and Silvery Bliss. I want to talk about both of these. They're completely different. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about Rosy Jingle first. I love that Oden's always gives us like over-the-top Christmas, and this year it is a very whimsical pink, like nutcracker ballerina fairy sugar plum inspired palette. I'm so here for it. This just feels so feminine and soft and just like a sweet romantic Christmas. I'm so here for it. It's a very unexpected. I love that we have different shimmer finishes in here. I love that we have a multi-chrome in here. I love our mattes. I'm so impressed with this color story. I'm like, this was fun. This was very fun and unexpected. Of course, I love deep, dark, and dramatic, so I have to talk about Silvery Bliss. I love dark colors. We have that over-the-top Christmas theme, and then look at the inside. Doorsy, classical Christmas. Like, I don't know. I think there's something so cool about this one. It's deep and dark, and we have those reds, and we have some cool tones, and the play on things is just so gorgeous. I've been playing with this palette on and off camera. I'm gonna share my looks with you, of course, but like, I've had so much fun, even when I'm not filming, playing with these palettes. Oden's is just one of my favorite brands. These are launching on the 10th. I will put the launch date, time, everything in the description box. My affiliate code with Oden's is Heather, so if you're ever shopping their site, you can use that to get a discount. If you missed last year's Christmas release, these are going to be on the website as well. So I do have a video using both of these palettes. This is the Hey Reindeer palette, and this is the Snow Dream. Last year's theme for Christmas to me was very like vintage Christmas. It reminded me of like old Christmas cards I see, or like really old Christmas decorations that I see that like my grandmother still has, things like that. That's really the vibes I got from these palettes, and I really thought that was a fun theme. So I want to show you like comparison all together, the new Christmas palettes and last year's Christmas palettes. So if you were thinking about picking these up, you could see like next to each other, all side by side, how they flow together, if they're different enough, if it's something that you're into. I'm just so into it. I'm always excited to see what Oden's is going to do for Christmas. I want to show you these palettes next to the latest release from Oden's as well, their last large palette. I have a full video on this as well, like eye swatching everything, doing looks, so definitely check that out if you're curious. I have so many videos on Oden's. I have loved the brand for so long. So now that I've kind of shown you those comparisons, let's jump into the tutorials. I'm going to start off by using an eyeshadow primer. I always do. I have deep set eyes. As you can see, I have oily skin, and I want my shadows to go on top of an opaque base. I absolutely hate a clear eyeshadow primer, so I'm using this one. This is actually Persuade from Sigma. It has a little bit of that like cool pinky undertone to it, and since we're using this gorgeous palette, I thought this more pinky base would work perfectly. Actually, I want to start our look with shimmers, so we're going to start with this shade, New Year Wishes. This is a really pretty like duochrome effect sparkly shadow, and then we're going to move into Champagne. I want to just go with these two. Like, I want to really have this look be kind of sparkly and ethereal. That's the vibe we're going for. I don't like to use my finger to apply shadows, so I like to pick up the eyeshadow on my brush and then just spray my brush lightly with a little setting spray. That's what I'm going to do for the shimmers here. It kind of gives you that impact of if you applied the shadows with your finger, except I can actually use my tools. So that's what we're doing here. And you can see I'm just really like pressing the shadow on the lid. I will have the brushes, of course. Everything will be linked in the description box for you. I try my best to use the YouTube feature to tag products and brushes and all that, but I also put it in a pinned comment and everything. So definitely check there if you're curious. But you can see this is a light, kind of like iridescent shade. It's that like yellow pink, but it's very ethereal, very light and sparkly. And I'm even gonna bring it up a little bit. There's really not much on my brush right now, so it's not like I'm just putting shadow up there. I'm just kind of blending and dusting that shadow around. I'm taking Champagne now, that more like orangey iridescent-y shade. Look at that. It has some really pretty like what looks to be like blue purple sparkle reflect in it. And when I say sparkle, I'm not talking about glitter, okay? I'm talking about really beautiful sparkle. Like, I want to look like a sugar plum fairy come to life in this look. That's the vibe. That's what we're going for. I'm putting this right in the center of my lid, and after I press it, then I will lightly blend. I want to dip into this pink matte shade right here called Sweet Moments. I'm gonna put this shade as like our third lid shade right out here. I'm not gonna worry too much about blending perfectly right now because we can definitely go back and blend some more in a minute. I more so just want to get that color down. I want to blend it out so it's coming out here further than my lid. I'm wrapping it all under my lower lash line like this, back and forth. Kind of messy. I like a little bit of a lived in look. Something that has effort but looks effortless. You know what I mean? You get me. You get me. I know you do. We're going to use a tiny touch of Rosy Jingle, this darker pink. I want to just use this to deepen out the outer corner, the outer part of my lid, not bringing it up as high as the hot pink, not bringing it out as far as the hot pink, just really keeping it right in this area. Just for a little something something, you know, like just for a little something something on top of that beautiful pink. I'm adding a little bit of my movie star liner to the waterline. I just want to have a little bit of brightness, something that kind of goes with the shadow look that we have going on, and I think this is really fun for the waterline, and it kind of like gives just a little bit of contrast while also still flowing. Does that make sense? That makes sense, right? Like, why not throw a little extra color on? More is more, right? I've got a big fluffy brush with no shadow on it. It's clean, and I'm just going to kind of go right over everything up here and down around to make sure I have a nice blend. If there's any little bit of sparkle that wants to be spread around, that's what this is gonna do. Again, completely clean brush, just throwing a little extra blending in, barely touching my skin with this. Celebration Heart is the gorgeous multi-chrome in this palette, and you're gonna get the most effect out of a multi-chrome if you like throw it all over your lid, like give it as much space as possible. We're not gonna do that today, so we're not gonna get the full multi-chrome effect. I just wanna pop it right here on my inner corner because it is gonna give me something. It's just gonna give me that, ooh, something special type of vibe throughout my day, you know? I'm into it. It's time for a little liquid liner on top, mascara, and definitely a lash. All right, y'all, here is my finished look. I feel like I'm giving a whimsical ballerina in this, like Christmas fairy. I don't know, I'm into it. I love this look with the red lip. You could definitely swap it out for like a nude lip if you want to do something that's maybe a little less dramatic, but I'm feeling the vibes. We do have another palette and another look that I want to share with you, so let's jump into that. I have my eyeshadow base on, and we're going to start with the shade Reminiscence, this dark green. I'm going to use a brush from my Sigma set to start to build this matte shadow right in the outer corner. So I'm going to kind of press it on first like this, right here in this kind of outer, what do you say, like this outer V area, and I want to take it just under the lower lash line too, but keeping it in the outer corner. I want to use this shade right here called Golden Glam. This is going to be like our main lid color. So I'm going to pick that up on my brush. I'm going to really work my brush into the shadow, and I'm going to spray my brush with a little bit of setting spray. This shade is going to go all on my lid. It's going to go up where I would put a matte shade. It's going to go in. I'm just gonna press it on before I blend. This shade is a really pretty sparkly gold that has like this shift of green to it. That kind of really pretty yellowy green gold. So that's why I thought it'd be beautiful next to this matte. I'm going in with just a little bit of softness. This is another brush from my Sigma set, and I'm just gonna use this to kind of buff and blend things out. Very lightly though. Like, I don't want to take this green too far out. I mainly just want to soften up like the edges and make it a little more seamless. The green is going to blend pretty easy for me just because it's a really good quality shadow, and I don't normally struggle with Oden's eye mattes, so this is performing exactly like what I expect. So I'm just gonna swap back and forth between this brush and the brush that I used with the green and lightly blend, barely touching my skin with the brush. This is a Dior liner in the shade Dark Green. It's hard to talk and apply it in my waterline, but I really love these Dior liners, so I'm just gonna put that dark green in my waterline. I'm using another brush from my set to go into Cocoa Milk. I just want to diffuse and lightly blend out my lower lash line with this color. I'm really liking the way these shades are working together. I think they're blending beautifully. I really like this shimmer on the lid. I like this brown, how it's blending into this green. Everything is performing really beautifully. I want to go into Pink Fantasy, and I'm just gonna kind of dip all in the pan. I don't care about picking up like an individual shade. I really just want it mixed, and I'm gonna take this with my brush and I'm just gonna press it on the inner corner. I'm not even really gonna blend. I'm just gonna use these little pressing motions because I don't want like an intense inner corner. I just want something a little bright, and like as I go about my day today, I want that to kind of hit the light and be a little something special without like stealing the show, you know? So this is a very simple look to me. I'm very much into it though. I think the colors are working really beautifully together, but I'm gonna throw on liner and I'm gonna throw on probably a half lash and I'll be back. Here is my finished look. I threw on a lash, which I'm loving, and a little bit of a sparkly highlighter. I wanted to continue like the festive holiday vibes, and I am loving my look. It did not take me long to do at all. Everything performed so well. The sparkles are sparkling, the shadows are working together, and I am feeling myself. Let me know what you were thinking about these palettes because I'm so into them. Had Oden's Eye not sent these to me, I would be setting an alarm and buying these on launch day because I love Oden's Eye. I love that they give us these fun Christmas palettes every year. I love that they pick a theme and they run with it. I will put the launch date, the time, my code, everything in the description box. Let me know. What do you think of these? Do you like these kind of fun color stories? I like that they're both like so different from one another. And if you love new makeup like I love new makeup, stick around. Check out some of my other videos because I can and do talk about makeup all the time, y'all.